The interim middleweight champion was very relaxed as he entered the Charlo boxing gym Tuesday morning. Over the conversations from the handful of people in the gym and the sound of sharp left jabs, Travis Scott's critically acclaimed Astroworld album plays from the large speaker on the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, boxing fans around the world, introducing 27 wins, 21 knockouts, standing at 6 feet and already 173 pounds, former IBF junior middleweight champ and current intern WBC middleweight champion of the world. From Screwston, Texas, Jermall Hitman Charlo. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to do that.
That was great.
I appreciate it, man. Give me a gig, man. I need money. Thank you for allowing us into your gym, man. We're in my hometown, Sugarland, Texas. Right off 6, man. Lions only. I'm here with the champ. He's getting ready for it. December 22nd. Bout?
22nd in Brooklyn.
Barclay, Monroe Jr. But before we get into that, man, let's go from the beginning. Lafayette, Louisiana, with your dad pulling you and your brothers into the boxing gym.
Yep.
But the way you guys started, man, it was raw.
It was rough.
It was savage.
It was savage, man. We didn't really grow up like most kids. You know, I had my twin brother and my older brother. We grew up fighting. Fighting was our first nature.
Yeah.
It was a way for my dad to, get his pride out and the things that he wanted to do. He taught us how to fight.
Yeah.
It's just what we had to grow up doing.
And I know that. I mean, that translates into the ring. Your aggressive nature and your go get it. I mean, is that where it stemmed from, man?
I mean, a lot of people don't realize, like growing up with two brothers, you get the best sparring at home. And then having a dad that I had, it was no quit attitude, and that's kind of where it all stemmed from.
Now, your favorite boxer is Thomas Hitman Hearns.
Right.
What is it about him that drew you to him?
My dad would sit down and make us watch old films of historic boxers at the time, and Sugar Ray Leonard was like my brother's favorite. And I kind of always didn't want to go with his favorites. So the Hearns and Leonard fight, it stuck with me a lot because when I started playing football, the coach was like, I was a middle linebacker, and he's like, "You're the hitman." He's like, "You're gonna be the hitman today," And I was like, I knew the hitman. That was like Thomas Hearns. So when I started my career off, I had a fight out in Florida, and he was the special guest there. And when they introduced me by my nickname and the new Hitman. And he kind of was like,
the new
he looked up and it was like, it's like, I like this kid, you can have that name, so that was kind of what stuck with me. I've always been the Hitman. My brother's the Iron Man.
That's dope.
That's how it is.
Now, speaking of, old school boxers and the history of boxing, you're blessed with one of the best trainers easily in history. You look at his list and it's the everybody's favorite boxer. He's trained,
right?
Yeah, and so now you're his latest project, man. Tell us about the gems and the information, the history that you get to receive on a daily basis from Mr. Shields.
Well, growing up as a kid, you never know what someone has really lived up to. And Ronnie Shields had my favorite fighters all my life almost. But I didn't know where Ronnie's job was. I didn't know what he was doing to these fighters. I just knew he was fussing at them,
Yeah.
And growing up, being walking in the gym about 8 years old, and then we wouldn't able to come and train at like 3 or 4 o'clock, and that's when Ronnie was there because he was training with Vernon Forrest, Mike Tyson, you know, Tuya. He had some fighters that I didn't even know about.
I know
Whitaker. I don't know, those beyond my days, but I knew that I saw his face like with these fighters. It's like my dad really knew who Ronnie was.
Yeah.
So he's like, he wanted us to train with Ronnie Shields, but he was kind of like, Ronnie was reluctant to train with to train us because we were young, as kids. Who knows what a kid can grow up and do? But as we continued to stay with boxing, I say about 16 years old, he started training us. So going from like all of my life seeing him, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, my dad took us as far as he could take us, and let us go and be the boxers that we wanted to become. Ronnie Shields stepped in and was like, you know, I'll guide these kids because, you know, he knew us from like birth.
It takes years to get to this level in order to know exactly what I'm talking about. Because, you know, this is stuff we work on every day in the gym. You know, every fight is different, of course. So we have different game plans, you know. And with any fighter, what I try to do is, you know, I let them know they look at the opponent also, you know, as well as myself. You know, sometimes we look at it together, but I'd rather not look at it with him because I want to see what he sees, and so I know what he feels, and then he knows what I feel. So when I get in there with him every day, you know, it's an everyday thing. You know, it's something that your mind has to be clicking all the time. So when we're in the ring, you know, if he don't see something and I see it, I tell him, hey, this is what we've been working on. Throw the uppercut, or throw the right hand, or throw the left hand.
So it's a pleasure to have Ronnie in my career and taking me above heights. And, you know, we've been all across the world together. It's been a journey, and the journey's been like non-stop, but at the same time, like the time that has passed, I've looked over it, and Ronnie has always been there to guide me. So I'll end my career with him too.
Now, I talked to Ronnie a little bit in the lobby about this left jab of yours. Now, you go down the history of boxing, you know, and the actual science of it. The left jab is a setup punch. It's something to, you know, find your distance or whatever. For whatever reason, your left jab is a power punch, and it's put people on their asses. So, and I asked him, I want to know what you think. Do you think that's God-given? Do you think God put the pain and power in that left hand, or is that something that you worked on and you haven't always had?
That's a good question. It's definitely God-given. The left jab, as I'm into my career right now, I have no clue where this left jab came.
Neither do your opponents.
But I know that it's something that I've always like known, like I can get to the next level with. It's almost like a supernatural art for me that I've developed, and it's something that I did not know about at first. And I'm learning that I have a good jab as I go throughout the more people that talk about it. You know, it's like they like the jab, and I'm like, I want to show you something else. Like I have other things that I really work on.
Right.
They're not talking about those. They're only talking about my left jab.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of the punches that I've like definitely worked to increase, to get more volume out of, to throw it differently, and it's a signature to my game.